I like the focus when it comes to Zebec, especially when it comes to Zebec being focused on RWAs. Now, let me explain why I really like this. It's because not too long ago, the total real world asset on chain surpassed $20 billion. That is very impressive, in my opinion. Sometimes people out there like to say, oh, Zebec being focused on RWAs, or should I say again, real world assets. They may be thinking, oh man, it's kind of bad and all this, but I disagree because beyond this statistic, which I get it, isn't necessarily the biggest thing out there. I mean, if we're taking a look at the market cap for meme coins and whatnot, I get it. This might not look too impressive, but then at the same time, this I think is something that not many projects really focus on that much. Sure, there is something like Ondo, which is focused on RWAs, but Zebec is too. And Ondo has kind of achieved already a pretty massive size in the grand scheme of things. So I think Zebec being focused on that is not such a bad thing. I mean, we gotta think about this. Why is RWA so amazing? It's because, for instance, if we take a look at RWA tokenization, for instance, we take a look at, let's say, RWA tokens. They are digital representations of physical assets on the blockchain. Now, why is this even good? It's because these assets can range in market sectors like, for instance, real estate, art, bonds, stocks. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. So I like the direction. And again, I think these statistics, I mean, even if we take a look at, just the historical, chart of this, I'm just going to visualize it, right? The chart is like going up like that when it comes to RWAs. Like at one point, it wasn't doing the best. And then suddenly now, again, when it comes to RWA on chain, right, in terms of the value amount, that is very impressive in my opinion. It kind of showcases that when it comes to real world assets, many projects out there are kind of beginning to be focused on that. So I think Zebec being focused on that too is not such a bad thing, especially when we consider all the other quote unquote tools that they have in their toolbox, because Zebec is also focused on AI-based PayFi. It's also focused on global trading finance and payments. It's also focused on payrolls. And it's also doing pretty good when it comes to the payrolls. I mean, its monthly volume back in May was around 40 million. Again, when it comes to payrolls. Also, it has over 200 enterprise clients when it comes to that as well. Again, payrolls. So Zebec is doing pretty good things, in my opinion, not to mention the Zebec cards, which I feel like, they're kind of consistently getting more and more kind of partnerships when it comes to that. So I do like it. When it comes to Zebec, I think it's a pretty complete project. I like the market cap, which isn't too massive, but then it's not too small either. So it kind of has that middle ground in between where it's not like a dinosaur, but it's not some, random microcap. At least that's the way to take a look at it. Because some people out there, they like to say, oh, why don't you get Bitcoin? Well, here's the thing. ZBCN going to the price of 10 cents, around a 27x from here. I get it. Considering current circulating supply, market cap at that point would be around $8.5 billion. But let's say ZBCN just went to the price of 5 cents. That's still well over a 10x from here, right? Can Bitcoin do that in the next 6 to 10 months? I highly doubt it. I mean, who knows? I cannot tell the future. I can only look at the present and the past. But just from what I see when it comes to Bitcoin, I don't see Bitcoin doing that, right? Some people out there might argue, hey, Bitcoin 300 grand or whatever. But still, even that is like slightly less than a 3x from here. ZBCN, again, just 5 cents is already over a 10x. No guarantees that it will ever happen. Who knows? But then I just kind of feel like ZBCN, because it is, an altcoin, because it is way lower market cap, in theory, it wouldn't really require that much volume to kind of do that. The way I take a look at it is that this is something I'd rather choose instead of Bitcoin. And that's just my perspective, but I'm just going to stay patient, acquire more, hold, and I just wait, because that, quite frankly, is the only thing I can do right now. But I do like the focus when it comes to Zebec. I like what it's doing, and I like how it's actually kind of performing in the sectors that they are focused on. So I'm going to look forward to more things, and just stay patient. That's about it. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.